Hello, I am Sandy Spady. I'm the host with the Power Up Talk Show, a talk show where we bring together community leaders and inspirational people that are making a difference in our world. Before I introduce my wonderful guests, we always have to kick it off with the best of the best cocktail craftsman, Deion Bass, Songbirds Cocktails.
Thank you, Sandy. Thanks for having me on the show. And today I wanted to do something. I wanted to mix a little bit of sweet and cherry with a little bit of dryness and bruteness and bubbles. So we're gonna be doing our Kern Royale. We're gonna start out with our creme de cassis. This is gonna be our sweet, rich cherry flavor. You can almost see the viscosity in it just looking at it being poured, and it definitely has legs. So our next ingredient is gonna be our Luc Belair. This is going to be our dry champagne product of France. And this is going to add basically our spike of citrus, our dryness, and it's really going to contrast the cherry and the sweetness, and it's going to make a wonderful marriage of flavor. Cheers, Sandy. Here's to you.
Cheers. All righty, let's toast before I introduce my amazing guest, right? Cheers, okay. Scrumptious. We're in for a treat. You thought I had energy? Oh, watch out. Kesha Johnson is in the house, and she is full of spit and vinegar for the better, not the worst, the better. She inspires so many people. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
I told you. Okay, she's the CEO and founder of Imperial Printing Company, right? Custom printing?
Yes.
Imperial Custom Printing. I want to know how you came up with that name, first of all. That's my first question for you.
Well, you know what? I was at home, working at home during COVID with the company I was with. And I was just kind of going through names, ideas. I'm like, I don't know. So I ended up coming up with the color first before the name, because the color is for my best friend who passed away from cancer. So I was like, I know whatever it's going to be is going to be purple. But I thought purple, and immediately it was like Imperial, because we were both into that kind of thing. And so it was like, I think that was a good thing to put, for her in her honor. So
I love that.
Yeah.
That's great. Now I know why it's purple.
Yes.
I was kind of questioning that. That's
Yes.
a beautiful way. It's a beautiful story. I always say it's the story behind your business, your personal story of what made you want to become the owner of your company that needs to be shared.
Yes.
So next question, the story. Tell us the story. How did you step into that entrepreneurship and take that leap of faith of being an entrepreneur and owning your business?
So I used to work at a bank for 8 years, like I said, and I got tired of doing that. It was a bunch of numbers. It was boring. I was just like, I'm a really creative person, and that's no, right? So one day I went to work and I logged into YouTube, and this random video popped up of this guy printing t-shirts in his garage. Never searched it before or anything. It was just random. And I was like, okay, clicked it, watched the whole process he did, and I was like, oh my gosh. I love t-shirts. That's all I ever wear is t-shirts and hoodies. Why don't I do something I love? That'd be great. So I bought my first piece of equipment in 2019 and went from there.
Oh my gosh. I didn't know. Did you start in your garage like Steve from Apple?
I started in my basement.
Okay, step up.
Yes.
What do you all do with your printing? I know you do banners, t-shirts, and I have a t-shirt. T-shirts tell your business before you even have to open up your mouth.
That's
I've always been, advertising, marketing, TV, advertising. Wear your logo. It's the first thing.
Yes.
Tell us what you all do.
So I do custom apparel, so anything you can wear, pretty much hoodies, hats, t-shirts. That's the main thing I usually get. I'm waiting for shorts. Someone needs to give me shorts. I want to print shorts, but I can do that too. And I also do banners, which isn't just banners. It's like retractable banners, vinyl banners, mesh banners, backdrops, pretty much anything, signage, yard signs, tablecloths. And then the other thing I do that's pretty unique is event printing. So I can bring my rotary press out there and whip out some shirts in front of your crowd with your branding on it, and boom, there you go. It's just a really cool element to have in your event. So
you just got me so excited. You're like doing the rodeo.
Yeah,
We're
and I will do that.
And what I told you, audience, All right. You also do a lot for the community.
Yes.
That's what I love about you. And I just want you to share the donation for Sienna Francis House and how the word human is so important. I kind of know, but share with the audience. It's such a great community awareness, and it's your passion. So tell us about that.
Yeah, so I had these shirts laying around my shop, and I don't like to have them laying around for long because I want someone to use them. And something that really hits home for me is like the homeless community. Me being almost homeless myself a couple times and having a family member that was homeless for a couple years, that's very important to me. So I know one thing that really it comes into my mind when I see homeless people is that they're still human. And no matter what happens to them, no matter what anybody's going through, any of us, we're still human at the end of the day. And I wanted people to realize that even though they're in a bad situation, they're still human. They still deserve respect. They still deserve the best treatment as anyone else should. So I thought that was a great thing to put on that shirt so that if they go out there and they wear that shirt, if someone sees them, they get ready to judge them, maybe they can see that maybe it says human. Maybe it'll give them a moment to think about, hey, maybe I should just be kind. So.
Gosh, is there a hashtag for that? I have a feeling. I think
I should make one.
I think it's going to happen here. We're also the creative show people.
Yes.
Because that is so true. I was on the Costa board member, and what I found interesting working with and hearing about foster care is that they don't have a suitcase. It's kind of the same thing, right?
Oh, wow.
So they don't have suitcases, so they have garbage bags to go house to house.
Yeah.
So it's kind of the same thing. They're humans, right?
Yes.
So I love that you brought in the human aspect of the person that just is down on their luck.
Yes, yeah.
Now, my next question is, how did you get to Omaha? Where'd you show up? Like a tornado just came rolling in? Like, tell me, how'd you get here in the Midwest?
So I moved here for family reasons when I was 9 years old, so it wasn't really my choice, but I'm originally from Houston, Texas, so I claim that. And so that's how I ended up here. I came here in 99, and then I just stayed here, so.
That's nice. I feel when I worked for the Great Omaha Chamber, too, a lot of times people, once they're like, where's Omaha? I don't know. What is it? Is there like all just rows of corn or what? Yeah. But once you get there, people fall in love with the city.
Yes. It's a great community.
Yes. I love that.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk more about you. All about Kesha. Okay. As an entrepreneur, it's not easy. I know that. I work with a lot of them. How can you share with the audience, like the lessons you've learned and things to give them, if they're discouraged and they're ready to give up? Share with the audience what made you keep rolling.
So it does get tough, and that's part of the game, right? But the thing that makes me stick with it is that I have a community to serve. That's what I tell myself in those moments where I'm like, oh, everything's going wrong. I'm just feeling like, okay, I'm done. Let me just sell all this stuff. I like serving my community, and this is the perfect way for me to do it. I'm happy doing it. And in those moments, I just tell myself, hey, look, there's people out there that need you. Like, they need you, they need your services, they need your energy. You can't stop this now. Like, you've already got this train rolling, you've got to get it. And I've been doing good work for people, and that makes me so happy, especially when I get to see their smiling face when they see those products, and they're like, oh my gosh. So yeah, and I honestly would tell people, if they're feeling discouraged, like, hey, remember your why. Like, remember why you started. Think about what you did in the beginning. See how far you've come, because I'm sure you're probably not at the beginning if you've been in this for a minute. You've come a long way. You've been through a lot of trials and tribulations. I mean, why stop now? I mean, you're in it, so like, let's just do it. Let's keep going.
Because sometimes I feel like entrepreneurs, they're at that point that they're ready to quit.
Yeah.
But you're so close.
Yes.
You're around the corner. A good friend of mine, Van D, always said, Sandy, you're at the boiling point. You're ready to boil over.
Yes.
And it's hard work, but the hard work does pay off.
Yeah.
And you're working for you, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Even better.
Yes.
All right. As far as your journey, what made you step into like the dreams of having your own business, right? It's hard, it's overwhelming. Who helped you? Who helped you with your business plan? Who helped you? Or do you just go in it like most entrepreneurs say, I don't know what I'm doing, I'm just doing it?
That is exactly what I did. I was like, I'm just going to do this. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm confused. I spent the first year and a half just fumbling everywhere. And of course, this was during COVID. I started a month after COVID shut everything down. So I had no idea, but I had plenty of time on my hands. And I ended up hooking up with a mentor down in Texas who helped me get everything right. She got me on track for everything. And I also joined a mastermind for printers all over the country. So between those two things, I got set up pretty good, and I got professional training. I invested that money into that. I traveled for it. So yeah, I always tell people, I put a lot of like investment into this so that I can put out a good product for you guys. So yeah.
You have to spend money to make money,
That's
right?
right.
You
Yes,
really do. And I
you
love
do.
that you went into like your masterminds,
Yep.
which by chance, she was at one of my speaking engagements at Embolden.
Embolden, yep.
And I was giving away, I'm kicking off a new Power Up Masterminds course. And guess who's the winner? Right here. High five, girl. We're doing it.
Yes.
She's going to join it. So it's another mastermind. So it's just a locally like rock star coaches.
Yes.
So I can't wait. February. It's
I'm
coming.
excited.
It's going to be so great. Your energy alone, I'm like, yes. As far as, as a business, your testimonials, your LinkedIn testimonials, or your Google reviews, can you share with the audience some of your great, memorable like testimonials or reviews or something that just stood out that you're like, oh, that makes it all worth it?
You know what? My coolest job this year, it wasn't even for a company. It was for a lady that wanted family reunion shirts. But she brought me a picture that her little sister drew, and she was like, I want someone to print this on the back for the family reunion shirts because everybody thought that'd be cool. And then a coral print on the front. So it was a really unique order, and I was like, I think this would be cool. And it challenged me too. And it came out so perfect. Like I had so much fun printing that and recreating the art. It came out exactly like her little sister drew it. And so when I delivered it, she was just like, oh my gosh, she was over the moon. The color coral was right, like everything. So she gave me a raving review on Google, and she just was like, thank you so much for this. And I don't know, that job really just stands out to me because that was the first time I actually did a custom color too. So it was all new to me. And so that was just amazing all around for everyone. So
That's good to know.
Yeah.
I never knew you could have like a little kid's drawing or something. And actually, did you have to go in and try to recreate it yourself?
Yes, I had to go
That's
in.
the challenge.
Yes,
right
that's
there.
the challenge, to recreate it. And it was drawn in pencil too, and she had erased some stuff. So it took me a minute to get that right, but it was literally perfect. I have a video that actually shows the beginning picture and then like what it looks like on the shirt. It was just awesome. So
That is a great story. Any other stories you want to share with the audience of just, you see their faces open up when they get their products? Any other stories?
Yes, there's a lady I met with at North Omaha Community. She was giving away backpacks. It was this big event, and she was like panicking. So she called me. She's like, I need these. I'm going through everything. That was right around when the power went out too. So the power was out for like 10 days. And so she was going through it. And so I was like, hey, look, I'll take care of this for you. And so I delivered those shirts at the event for her, and she thanked me on the spot. She was like, oh my gosh, look, let me like do a testimonial for it. I'm like, I would love that. So I got that on video, and it was just amazing. I'm so happy. That was another order that actually stood out to me, and I'm so happy that I made her so happy with that.
And what I hear in that is that you went out of your way
Yes.
to give customer service. I used to teach customer service when I worked for the Buckle as a district manager. Customer service, it's so important and people forget about it, but it's those little things like you did, showed up and hand delivered your product.
I always do.
That's why she's successful, audience. As far as community, I know you like to be involved. I know you do things. What is your favorite nonprofit, or where's your heart? What nonprofits? I mean, I know that, the Sienna Francis House is one of them.
Yeah.
What's your favorite nonprofits? Where's your heart and why?
So my favorite nonprofit that has my heart is called Heal Omaha. It's a smaller nonprofit. It's not very well known. My doctor actually started it, but they serve the homeless community. So they are doctors that go out and treat people that are living on the streets or in the shelters. And that's, of course, very important to me, very similar to the last one. So they have my heart, and I push them as much as I can to people. But they're kind of up and down, but they have a Amazon where you can donate, supplies for them to be able to treat these people. So they have my heart. They're my favorite.
That's really cool. And they could be wearing your t-shirt.
They do.
I figured they did.
Yes, they do.
That really blends in for the homeless.
Yes.
Tell us a story that you experienced. Like you said, you had a family member, someone close that went through that trial. Because usually it's like an addiction or mental illness or something that
Yeah.
even though family wants to help, right? They
Yeah.
don't want it.
Yeah.
What personal story can you share that made you really, it's impacted you?
Yeah, so I had a family member who was living in a really bad situation. Like she was older, very old, and she couldn't clean the house. So the house got really just unlivable, literally. So they had to remove her from that home, and she had nowhere to go. So she ended up living on the streets, ended up getting picked up by a shelter. And that family member was really, really close to me. So it was like, I couldn't do anything for them because they didn't want help. That makes it difficult all the time.
It does.
I was just kind of like, okay, I would check on her as much as I could. I would go down to the shelter. Of course, the shelter she was in was you can't tell you really, like, we can't let you in,
Yeah.
but she could come out and meet me. So I would come meet, go down there and meet with her and talk and just make sure she's doing okay, bring her stuff if she needed it. I mean, they took pretty good care of her, but yeah, but now she's not homeless anymore. She's got a place to, that she's living at. So yeah, but yeah, that was my personal story that hit really close to home for me.
Well, that is why your homeless is so close to you. There's
Yes.
always a purpose behind someone's passion. When I worked for the Greater Omaha Chamber and we do ribbon cuttings, I would ask that business, where's your heart, where's your passion? Let's showcase that nonprofit, because nonprofits are broke. They need money
Yes.
and they need awareness.
Yes.
And that's usually they have one that's really dear. And
Yeah.
it's a story behind the story.
Yes.
That's beautiful. All right. What's a perfect, if you could go through life and you hear this song or this movie, what is a great movie or theme song that would just really explain your life since now until then? Like, what would be your theme movie or your theme song?
You know what? This was hard, but I'm gonna pick a fun one because
Okay, let's do it, 'cause
don't
you're
judge
fun.
me. But it's Hakuna Matata from Lion King. Like, no worries. And that's something that stuck with me since it came out in '94, right? And that's kind of something that I've always played in my head, like just like Hakuna Matata. And it just lifts your mood. It's fun, it's kind of a kiddie thing, but I'm like, I don't know, it makes me happy.
Well, you always smile. That does not surprise me at all. That that's your theme song. And
Yes.
isn't that the part where the big lion holds up the cub? Is that-
No, that's at the beginning.
That's at the beginning.
Yeah, but
Okay,
it's like
okay.
when Simba grows up and he's hanging in the jungle with Timon and Pumbaa. I don't know. It was just like a fun song. So yeah,
because
but
life can be hard, but
Yeah.
it's how you look at it, right?
Yeah.
It's how you do it. It's your mindset.
yeah, and I try not to worry. That's like,
Yes.
it can be so easy to get consumed by that. So that's kind of like my little fun reminder, like, So I'll put it on every now and then.
Oh, I love it. I
Yeah.
love it. I love it. Mine's Rocky. Da, 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 da. Like, let's do this.
Yes.
All right. Let's talk about what has helped you grow in your business. I'm a big networker. I teach it. I preach it. I speak it. What is starting out? You said it started out in the pandemic, 2018.
Yeah. Yep.
So you had, which really, people wrote books. They started businesses because you had time, right?
Yep.
So that was very smart. How, once things start lifting up, how did you network? How did you get involved to get your name out there?
So one of the first things I did was I joined the Omaha Chamber back in 2022.
My people.
Yes, and so before that, I had not done any networking. I have social anxiety sometimes, so I was like, it was very intimidating. But once I got out there, like, I don't know, a switch flipped. I was just like, I'm talking to everybody, and everybody's like, oh my gosh, you're just like so open. I'm like, I guess so. I didn't know that about myself. I worked in a cubicle for 8 years, so.
Wow.
Yeah.
What a difference.
Totally different.
That's when I met you.
Yep.
It was at a Chamber of Coffee and Coffee.
That's
Coffee
right.
Contact.
You
whatever.
caught me right in the beginning. So yeah. So
I would have
that's
never guessed it.
Yes. So I just been networking and go to different, chamber events. I've been in Sarpy County Chamber. I've done a little bit with other stuff, Bennington. And so, yeah, I pretty much just get out there. If I can find an event, it sounds good, especially if it's something I can support, I'm in there. So yeah. And I've recently joined with the 50-mile march. I've been marching with their crew in the morning, so I'm hoping maybe I can do the 50-mile march this next year. So that would be really cool. I think it's a great idea.
I didn't know that about you.
Yes.
I mean, she just won second place out of rock climbing, right?
Yes, second
Share
place.
that story, 'cause
literally.
that was like, oh, she's so amazing.
You know what? It was like I got up that morning. I was like, there's competition. I knew about this competition like 2 months in advance. And I was like, I'm going to miss it. Nah, I'm good. But I was like, no, you know what? I'm going to do it. Why not? I mean, what's going to happen? Like, what's the worst going to happen? It's going to be fun, And I was like, wouldn't it be so cool if I won a medal? And it happened. And that's why I was so mind blown. I was like, what? So yeah, it was just such a cool thing. I mean, that's just amazing way to end the year, like competition wise. So yeah.
And that's what I see in you is that you see an opportunity. I speak about it. Say yes to opportunities.
Yes.
You were watching it. the back burner, and that day you just woke up and did it, right?
Yep.
And then she won second place.
Yes.
So audience, don't just keep it on the back burner.
Yes.
Just take the chance, because you could be second place and you can get a medal.
It's an opportunity to surprise yourself.
Yes.
Like,
and
take
that's
it.
what says about you. Your big smile. You just have so much life within you, and you just go for it.
Yes. That's what I do.
That
I
is
don't
like-
think, just do it.
She goes for it. What other things do you want to see yourself in 5 years? Like, it's been what, a few years, right, with your business?
Yeah.
Where do you want it to go? Where do you see the big picture? If you could win $1 million and put it towards your business, what would you do?
Honestly, I would probably invest a lot of that in equipment and like a space. I want to expand so that I can serve my customers better and faster. That's something that's really important to me, and I've been working on that, like just getting the systems in place for 2025 to help speed things up, make it smoother. I mean, it's pretty easy right now for people to reach out to me and stuff, but it can always be improved on, right? So that's what I'm thinking about doing, but I would totally do that, and at the same time, just put a bunch into marketing just to help me out, just so I'm not wearing so many hats all the time. So
That is, as an entrepreneur, it's the hats.
Oh, yeah.
We all go to YouTube. How do I do this? What do I do? Google it, YouTube it.
You'd
Thank
be
goodness
surprised.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And education's out there.
yes.
What about as far as you personally? Who's like Kesha?
Me,
You
you know
as
what?
a woman, as a daughter, like, who are you?
I am a person that just loves to have fun in life. Like any kind of way, I love to be like just myself. I don't really like to have, that's what was hard about my job, was that I felt boxed in. You know, you had to be like corporate, everybody's like, And so when I got out, I guess I just like exploded, and it was like, okay, this is the real me. And so that's why it was surprising me that I was like, oh, I can do this. So yeah, I love to have fun. I love to play. I love to work out and just explore different things. I just love experiences. I think life is all about experiences.
Absolutely.
So that's
I
my thing.
cannot even, we're kind of the same people.
Yeah.
Because life's too short. If you don't take chances, feel it, believe it, and do it, you're going to miss out on great experiences.
Yeah, and regrets are going to be there. It's like, yeah.
The worst thing you can do, I tell entrepreneurs, the worst thing you can do is not doing it. Because then you're going to see other people do it, and you're going to be like, I wish that was done it.
Yeah.
You can always get a job, right? If it doesn't cut it.
Exactly.
But you don't always get an opportunity at the right moment that God's calling you for.
Yes. So that's been a big lesson for me this year. It's just like, I can't hesitate. I hesitated on something and I lost it, and I was like, I'm never doing that again.
Never. Opportunities come our way.
Yes.
What about, I know as an entrepreneur, I have certain apps I can't live without. What is an app that you're like, please never take this app away? Like, CapCut, Grammarly is like mine. I can't even say it because Grammarly, right? Like, what's your app? You're like, please never take this away from me.
Literally, yeah. So amazingly, it's TikTok, because I do all my editing on TikTok, because I am not an editor, but TikTok makes it so easy. And so when they had that time, I don't know, that was probably a couple months ago, they were like, well, we're gonna like get rid of TikTok. I was like, no, don't get rid of TikTok. I need TikTok. Like, if you do that, I have no idea how I'm gonna do this. So yeah, all my videos and stuff is done on there. So that is definitely something I can't live without. Yeah.
So many entrepreneurs have used TikTok, and I hope they're almost like thinking about it again. And hopefully they realize, the ones that are making these decisions, they're not an entrepreneur.
Exactly.
Like, it's a great way as a business to present yourself, share your story and your products.
Yeah, and it's just a really easy way to do it if you don't have that knowledge, so it makes it good enough. So
Yes. Please don't take TikTok.
don't do it.
All right. What about the community? What would you like to do more with the community? Is there a nonprofit that you see you'd want to help with, or maybe some collaborations like you'd like to do with any of those partnerships?
Yes. You know what? I was actually just thinking about this like earlier this week, and I was like, I did the t-shirt thing, right? I gave some t-shirts away, but I want to do more. I want to give more stuff. It's getting cold, and I've actually been thinking about doing a hoodie drive for the homeless so that they have some warm stuff to wear. But I want to collaborate maybe with Sienna Francis House or someone so that we can start getting that to those guys. So they're out there right now. Some of them don't have jackets, so they need something to keep them warm. And I would love to print anything on there, really. Or I could just give them to them blank. It doesn't matter. It's going to keep them warm either way. But I would love to do a hoodie drive.
I think you could find a partnership out there that supports that, and their logo could be on the back.
Yeah.
And you can have the human in front.
That's what I
Any
was thinking that.
partnerships that need community awareness, I think that's beautiful.
Yeah.
You're right, it's cold out there and we take for granted. I always think of chapstick. I can't live without chapstick.
Oh, yeah.
So I usually always give chapstick and all the tree gifts and everything. Like I help out at the nursing home and once a month, and I do fun activities with them. Like
Oh, cool.
in November, I gave them chapstick because if I didn't have chapstick, right, we take it for granted. But homeless,
Yeah.
that's another thing.
That's a big thing.
Yeah,
Like, those
and you
things are
could
big.
put like human on the chapstick.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
You heard it here.
Oh my
people.
God. Yeah. Boom. We're doing
Yep,
it.
chapstick. And that's such a good way, right?
Yeah.
It's doing what's right. And I say every day, when you give more than give more than you receive, things always work out.
Yeah.
When you do good in the world, it works out.
It does.
All right, how can we go ahead and tell our audience how to get a hold of you, where you're at, what to do? What's your next project? Where are they going to find you at?
Well, you can find me at imperialcustomprinting.com, or you can call me at 402-290-5538. I'm always happy to talk on the phone. And I always joke and say, like, you don't even have to call me if you want a quote. You can go on the website and click quote and fill it in that way, either way. You can find me on Facebook, TikTok, LinkedIn, Instagram. I'm pretty much everywhere. Google. Yeah, you can find me there. So.
And what do they look for? What?
Yeah, Imperial Custom Printing. Yeah, look for that. We're pretty much everywhere. So, and I always say, if you find me on Facebook, my name is Kesha Johnson. Feel free to add me. I have nothing to hide. I love meeting people. So I have like a ton of people on my friends list, and I just, you get to see a bit more about my human side. You know, I'm not just the business. I'm like a person. So you can learn about me. I'm happy to be friends. So
that's so great. And I love that you say you love to talk on the phone.
yes.
Like I voice over my text messaging, and I think if you can't figure it out, then you're not in my circle because I don't have time to figure it out. But I'm old school like that. I love getting on the phone and making that connection if you can't be in person too.
Yes, it's much better. It's just a human element that I like to have in my business.
People are craving it, right?
Yeah, big time.
Well, thank you for being on my Power Up Talk show. You're just a spit full of fire, and I just love your energy, and you're doing such great things for the community.
Thank you.
And that's
Sandy.
why you're sitting here today, because you're amazing.
Yay,
Yes.
I love you. You're awesome. You're so amazing. Thank you for having me.
You're so welcome. Now remember that in this world, we need people to help others. Go out of the box, help someone, help the homeless, help elderly, do something, because everyone needs a human touch, and that human touch makes a difference in the world. Thank you. We are peacing out, and goodbye.